the Lord in prayer. Lord Father, we thank you for all your blessings. Bless us each day that we're alive and well. God, we pray, Lord Father, that people will come to Christ because you are soon coming, the Bible says. We pray that you bless our community, bless our officials, city officials, and all those present, and our staff, and the citizens that will follow. We give you honor, praise, and glory for being so good to us. Do remember those who has cancer and all these different diseases. Do remember our country and our veterans and our soldiers and our leaders. Do remember those who have a death in the family. That you comfort them as they're grieving at this time. Do remember those in the nursing home, the hospitals that we love so good. And God, we just give you honor, praise, and glory. Bless this meeting, and let us all be led by the Spirit of God in decisions that are made for the city and for the good of the community. In Jesus' name we ask all these things. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Steve. Stand, you call the roll, please.
Mr. Archer. Present. Mr. Bollinger.
Here.
Ms. Thompson.
Here.
Mr. Wilson. Here. Mayor Stanfield.
Here. Item number 4, approval of minutes for your May 2017 meeting. What's council's pleasure? Have a motion by Mr. Bowman. Have a second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Archer. Call the roll, Stan.
Mr. Archer.
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger.
Yes.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 5, reports from the boards, committees, and department heads. What's your pleasure?
We accept them.
Motion by Mr. Archer. Have a second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Thompson. Call the roll, Stan.
Mr. Archer.
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger.
Yes.
Ms. Thompson.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 6, any comments from the citizens? Noted being none. Item number 7, announcements. I have 2 of them. On June the 29th, from 11 to 1 p.m., the city's going to have an employee appreciation dinner at La Follette Community Center, the old West Fox School District. Everybody's welcome. What are we having, Jimmy? We're going to have hamburgers and hot dogs.
We're working on a menu. It'll be good though.
I like fish. We like fish up the green. Okay. All right, so that's from 11 to 1 o'clock on June 29th. Another announcement on the police department, we have a new canine dog, and his name is Tybo. Steve, bring Tybo up here. He's a beautiful dog. We've had him probably about, I'd say, 2 months, and here about a month ago, there was a lady who had dementia. She was lost up in Clayton County. Steve, you correct me if I'm wrong. But she had dementia, and she was lost up in Clayton County, and Steve took Tybo up her. And thanks to Steve and the dog, they located that lady and took her back to safety. She was, I think, out of state. Steve. So we really appreciate you, Steve, and the dog. And we have some people we'd like to recognize to help make this possible. And Chief, you'll come up, we'll give them a plaque. Recognize them. Anybody else with them? I keep hearing much Okay. Raymond Hanson from Bootsy Concrete. Raymond, I see you come in. Come on up here, Raymond. Raymond gives us the concrete for a 10 by 14 inch concrete pad. You can always count on Raymond and Ariel for helping the city out. And on behalf of me and the council and the police department and the police chief, we'd like to give you that plaque.
Thanks very much. Yes, sir. Stay up here.
Yeah, then we'll stick with the picture mate. The next one is Mike Malakoff at Dixie Roofing. Mike donated some money for the K9 fire pit. Where's Mike there? Oh, come here, Michael. We'd like to thank you and your family for everything you do for the city and the police department. Thank you. Okay, where's Alex at? Come on up here, Alex. This is Chief Rail's son. He's at Allergy with Morristown Roofing, and he also gives supplies for the K9 line. Well, you're looking good. Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of the council, we appreciate it. And where's, come here, Daniel, Curry. So, do we hit? Yeah, come out here. I knew when you wore a uniform. What'd you wear your snake boots for? You think you got snakes in here? We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Okay, we got somebody representing Lowe's and Clinton Highway, are they here? See you right there? Okay, Bill, if you make sure you get to us. And this is on behalf of me and the council, and, okay, Smith. Okay, Smith, okay. But on behalf of the council, we really appreciate what you did. You're a little concrete finisher. Okay, Mr. Smith, where's he at? Yeah, Mr. Smith, he's from Smith Meadows, he built the doghouse for us, and he's also making some police cars for us. You're down here next to Wild Bob and Ronnie, you see that woody police car? They keep wrecking and put pedals on it. We really appreciate it. Okay.
Are you gonna bring the dog up?
Come on, would you bring him up here? Brian, you watch this dog, remember what happened last time this dog was out, I'm not sure.
Always pretty. Watches every move. Different noise.
All right. Thank you, guys. Oh, come on, you're fishing. Oh, my Joe. All right. Okay, under ordinance resolution 2017-12, amendments to original budget 2016-2017. What's council's pleasure?
Move with approval.
Have a motion by Mr. Bullen, have a second?
Second.
Have a second, Mr. Archer, call the roll, stand.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 2, ordinance 2017-05, approval of the 2017-2018 budget. This is the first and second reading. What's council's pleasure?
Move with approval, Mayor.
Have a motion by Joe, have a second. Budget.
First second.
Okay. Have a second, call the roll, Sam.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Under administration, most of you may not know this, but we're going to do about $2 million in pavement on our streets. And there was only one bid, correct, Jim? And that was Rogers Group? Okay.
Correct.
Okay. You have a motion to accept the bid from Rogers Corporation.
And do the engineer bid as well?
I know.
Not necessary.
I don't have a copy of it.
what the bid is.
Yes. You know what the bid is, Jim?
Because they always get all their stuff out.
$77 a ton.
There's not a total, they bid it by the ton, there's not a total dollar figure.
Yeah, I know.
They bid it by the ton, they put it down till we run out of money. The bid was, for the surface mix, was $77.80 or 90 cents. The leveling course to put under it to level it up, to get it ready for surface, was $74 or something. The milling was $2 something a square yard, where it needs to be built, where to make it match the curb and gutter.
Yeah. Do you feel with those bid prices that will pretty much cover the streets that we've got on the list?
Yes. If I may say one thing, I heard a remark or two that they bid the county paving cheaper than they did the city. The reason for that is overhead. The product, the cost of asphalt, is no way near the cost of doing the job. On county roads where they can sit down and lay 1,000 tons a day, whereas, and I'm just using these numbers for an example, in city streets, say they get 300 tons a day, your labor is the same, the overhead, the equipment is the same for 300 tons as it is for 1,000 tons. So this explains the difference between the county price and the city price. So it's still a good price. But I've heard remarks that wonder why the county
I
got.
made that remark myself.
Well, I heard some other people, but, I just wanted to make that statement. When you go to figuring the overhead to do the job, that's where the difference is in the cost per ton.
I think Mr. McCarthy explained it up here the other day, that that was what the difference was when we were opening the bids.
Jim, it's brought to my attention about, we got curbs on some of our streets to turn the water, and the curb would be, I told people the curb would be put back.
Well, yeah, the curb will be put back, but, where we have curb and gutter, and there's, a few streets, not a lot, that have the curb and gutter, concrete curb and gutter. Well, if you don't mill it at least close to the curb and gutter, you wind up with asphalt a lot higher than the gutter, which is what we got on Beach Street.
Yeah.
We don't want that again.
Now, that's a nightmare.
So, now usually, they won't mill the full width of the street. They'll mill enough to make a good transition and mill it down to where it matches the concrete when they put the surface mix back.
Right. Jim, we was talking about up there at Morningside Park up there where Scott Steiner lives. He's talking about the middle of the road. Now, Tennessee Asphalt done that when I was there in Max Robinson. That water was supposed to run down the middle, that's why it's like that. It was going down in Mr. Brown's yard and Scott's yard.
Got the drain in the middle of the street.
Yeah, remember Joe, that was you.
But, yeah, where they have asphalt curbs to turn the water, keep them running in people's yards and then they're down their driveways and wash them out. So where there is curb, it will be replaced after the new surface is put on. And if we miss anybody, be sure to call our attention to it and we'll get it taken care of.
Right, I think we used to look at the streets in behind, off 13th Street going into, the funeral home in here, the gravel road, I was talking to the guy on the funeral home now, and they don't really care about getting it blacktop, because everybody's using that for a street now.
I think if you look at the city map, it's actually an unopened
It
street.
is,
So really, if we pull a paper wide, 10 feet or something, not gonna take all that much, and it is a constant maintenance problem for us. So, we will not be on private property if that issue comes up.
right.
We'll be on city street. So, unless someone has strong objections, we'll,
Well, he said a lot of people's cutting through the parking lot there at Martin's funeral home and coming out on 13th Street, there's, so we need to look at that before we do it. Okay. All right, are we good on this one?
Move to approve the bid.
I have a motion by Joe, you have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Bill, call the roll, Stan.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion
Cities
carries.
will have to bear with us about 60 days, they said, before they can start paving.
they already had some work they had taken before ours, so they've got to do it, and work us in, but they do know that we want them to start this as soon as possible.
Yeah, we don't want to be here, it's cold weather.
No.
Okay, I'm good. Okay, item number 2, approval of the audit contract with Pugh and Company. Terry, you want to elaborate, Terry, on that?
Well, you have a contract, they have a price in there for the normal audit. If A133 applies, which is we have grant money over a certain amount, They have to do extra work for the federal clearinghouse, which we have to do. And then also because of extra work for, used to, we could, the utilities and ourselves, myself, we could send our budgets to the state. Now they've got new requirements, so they're helping both of us with the budget requirements for the state. So we've got enough money in the budget to cover the contract, so. And I'm pretty sure they'll meet A-133 because we've got a lot of grant money.
Okay. All right. You heard Terry's recommendation, it's council's pleasure. You have a motion to approve the contract with fuel company?
I'll make it.
Have a motion, Mr. Archer, have a second.
I'll second.
Second, Ms. Thompson, call the roll, stand.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 3 is security cameras for administration, part of the city hall. That's everything on the right-hand side of the building. We talked about it last year, and the money was in the budget to do it last year. And some of you may remember, one of our offices got broke into, and everything in the office was stolen except the desk. 2 years ago? 2 years ago. But we all know who broke into it and stole the stuff, but what's council's pleasure on the cameras?
But it doesn't do much for the credibility of the council if you vote to do something and then don't do it.
Well, we had the money in the budget last year to do it,
We could put the money in the budget this year.
2 years ago. Well, be honest with you, I'm not for it. You know, we got cameras in the police department, monitors this whole area here.
I understand that.
And then the cameras monitor this whole back parking lot. Now, if you come in over here and break in an office and carry everything out but the kitchen sink and nobody sees nothing, the cameras ain't worth jack squat. Now, somebody's seen somebody breaking that office, whether it's an employee here or somewhere across the street. You don't come in here and work an hour and a half stealing everything out of the office, nobody sees something.
I think the easiest way to cover that is to rescind that motion of August the 15th, 2015. Nothing never came of it.
No, you
Because
look,
everybody refused to do it. It gets the city administrator to act on it to do it.
well, when that guy come and looked at it, and these walls are solid concrete, and he's going,
There's wireless cameras available.
well, it's up to you
I'll
guys.
make that motion, rescind that one.
All right, have a motion by Mr. Archer, to have a second.
Second.
Have a second, Mr. Wilson, call the roll, Sam.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
No.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 4, appointment of utility board member.
Two more things to do there, it'll be real quick, and then
Okay. Let me move on to something else, just, everybody sit tight a minute. Let's go on in here to Park and Recreations. Item number 1, promoting Eddie Parker, currently part-time, to a full-time salary of $21,008 effective the 6/17/2017. Johnny, he's working out okay?
Yes.
Okay. You have Johnny's recommendation, what's the council's pleasure?
How many full-times that give you now?
4 or 5,
5? How many part-time?
2.
How many summer?
Part-time summer, same thing. I don't have any summer.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion, and have a second.
Second.
Second, Joe, call roll, Sam.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 2, approve a contract between Community Development Partners for administrative service for the recreation grant. That's Evian Sanders. What's council's pleasure?
Move to approve, Mayor.
Have a motion by Joe, we have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson, call roll, Stan.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carries. Under Public Works, item number 1, promoting Dalton Davis, currently part-time, to a full-time salary of $21,008 effective 6/17/2017. Jim, Dalton's working out okay?
Okay, here he is.
All right, now, I started as a garbage man. Yeah. You have Jim's recommendation?
Doing a good job.
Have a motion.
Does their probation period that they've been through or going through, gonna go through?
Yeah, he's been here what, 6 or 7 weeks or
Yeah.
something like that.
Everybody I talked to said Doc's did a good job, Bill.
And he's been here a good while.
Yeah. Have a motion about it. How about have a second?
I'll make,
Have a second, Bill, call the roll, sir.
Mr. Archer?
yes,
Mr. Bollinger? Yes. Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes. Motion carries. Dalton, welcome to the city, buddy, and make us proud. Just be careful, okay? And wear your vest. All right. All right, let's go back up here to administrative, appointing a utility board member. I have maybe 3 of them in the audience. If you would like, we'll give you 3 minutes to talk to council and say what you want to bring to the table. John, you want to go first?
Okay, sure. I'm John Snodderly. Most of you know me, but first let me say thank you to James Walker. He's given 10 years to the utility, and he's to be commended for that. I have the utmost respect for both James and Janice. What I can bring to the table maybe is a new perspective on things. I think experience-wise, management. We deal with 7 counties and 12 cities, so I kind of see what it takes to run a large service area. Budget experience, I deal with at least 5 budgets every day, if not more, in the millions. I've got a degree from the University of Tennessee. I've been with the Housing Authority since '92, which is hard to believe, but the director since 2006. I've got quite a bit of board experience. I'm on the Tennessee Housing Board. I've been the president of that organization for 2 consecutive terms, serving on that board for a 7-year commitment. On the East Tennessee PBS board. I'm chair of the Leadership Council at La Follette United Methodist Church. Right off the bat, I probably represent 380 plus households in the city of La Follette. And last but not least, I would deny the health insurance that is offered in this position, and just based on the rates that the utility is paying right now, we know that health insurance rates probably won't drop. They'll do nothing but go up, but at that, just based on right now, that would save the ratepayers about $65,000 or so over a 5-year period of that term. So, thank you very much. I appreciate the time.
Does the council have any questions for John?
No,
Pam?
No.
no.
Bill?
no, he's,
Good, okay. Okay, John, thank you. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Lee Reynolds? This is Lee Reynolds right here.
That's a hard act to follow. Mayor and council, I just wanted to say that I am interested in the position. I don't have any, I'm semi-retired and I still work with an advertising agency. I've worked all my life, but I've never been on a utility board before, so I can't bring any experience to that particular seat, but I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you good folks, and I know a lot of the people that here in town and that work for the utility company. I did have an opportunity to take a very informative tour of our city water plant, and the thing that jumped out to me the most about that is the fact that we're just fortunate and blessed to have such a large freshwater supply from Lake Norris. I am healthy, and I would strive to do a good job as a board member, and I appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, Lee. All right. Janice?
I'd like to thank the mayor and council for hearing me tonight. I've lived in La Follette. James and I have been married 50 plus years. We love this area. We're watching La Follette progress all the time, which we still maintain that part of La Follette that's near and dear to our hearts, the old part of La Follette, but then we see La Follette moving forward also, which is what we want. And the utilities, as the city grows, so does the utilities. So I have a lot of experience. I have, after I got my education, I've worked in legal, I've worked secretarial, I've worked in sales, I have worked in just about every area of business that you can think of. That I've been in natural resources, I've done personnel, payroll, And I've worked with people, and I've only been employed at 2 different places, but I've had a variety of experience, and I just would love an opportunity to serve. I am a female, of course, so I have a different spin on things sometimes, and I think we have a lady on city council, and we have them serving nationwide and statewide, and I think that's a good thing. We tend to pick things apart a little differently, and we process things a little differently, but I think that's a big plus. You know, this is still hometown. We still maintain that in La Follette. My family, I have a lot of family that lives in New Orleans, and they love to come to La Follette. And they don't say we're coming to La Follette. They'll say, Aunt Jan, we want to come home. And we still have that. And that's priceless. And I feel like I've always worked in the private sector. I've never done any public work other than working at the Cancer Association. So I feel like that I would do a good job. I would represent the city, and as I represent the utilities, I would be representing the city also. I do thank you so much for your attention. I so appreciate your consideration, and I thank you for hearing me tonight.
Janice, you're very welcome. You're all very welcome.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir. Anyone else? What about you, Brian, since you're all dressed up in a suit?
I'm good, thank you.
You're good? Okay, just checking.
Thank you. And y'all gonna vote on your adjournment session, correct?
Right, yeah. Oh, we're not going to vote on it tonight. Guys, we're going to wait. We've got another meeting. We've got an adjourned session, our third and final reading. We'll vote on the board member at our adjourned session.
I'd like to personally thank all of you for coming in. We advertised that anyone that is interested in the board position, come and speak to us about it. And you all showed the courage and interest and everything of coming in and speaking to us. It's not often, we as laypersons, we go out on the streets and we hear all of these rumors and innuendos and all of this, that, and everything else. Well, we said we'll just give everybody who wants to come in an opportunity to come in and speak. And they can't. My daddy always said, if you keep your mouth shut, you ain't got no grounds to stand on. You better talk. So I appreciate you all coming in, and I'm sure all the other council members likewise too.
You want to make a great board member. We got a good working relationship with Follette Utilities. You know, they employ a lot of people, and over my years working for Street Fire, I had the honor and pleasure of working for a lot of these guys in all kinds of weather, snow and rain, whatever, you know. And they're dedicated employees, and we really appreciate their employees, and we appreciate our employees. Eddie, I see Eddie. You got here late, Eddie. You got the job anyway, so.
Well, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Eddie. Listen, we're going to adjourn the session to June the 30th. What would be a good time? Yeah.
Then you have to
What about the flags?
Well, we're going to let that up to Jimmy and Donnie. We took it out, we got the money for it. Yeah. But we know, last night, we will give them money for a discretionary account to buy the flags. Jimmy and Donnie. Yeah. No, we don't need to do anything bad. But I need a motion to adjourn in session, appoint the board member, and do the budget for final and third reading by the time from June the 30th.
What day is that, Mayor?
It's Friday.
Friday.
Friday, okay.
What'd be a good time? 2 o'clock?
You said the flags would come out of discretionary funds.
Yeah.
Is it safe to tell Donnie to go ahead and get in the?
I think Jimmy's done talked to Donnie, and Jimmy's gonna meet with him, right, Jimmy?
I told him, but I didn't know they had talked at the time.
Yeah.
We got to write a purchase order for it.
Yeah. What'd be a good time for you, Joe, on Friday, since you're off on Friday? 2 o'clock, would be good? All right, 12 o'clock.
It's on the 30th.
Mhm.
I'm not sure about that.
We can pick another day. You know, Thursday?
Maybe Thursday.
Okay. And the 20th, I still on June the 29th, and so ain't gonna be here.
At 1 o'clock, at the end of the boy appreciation
Okay, okay. 1 o'clock? You give 3 million, you can hold on something. All right.
Or you can do it before the employee appreciation dinner, whatever y'all want.
I won't be around until 7. I need a motion to adjourn.
You're in session.
It's one of the board members to adjourn. You got it, June 29. Have a motion, majority, have a second.
Yes.
Mr. Archer, call roll, stand.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mr. Bollinger?
Yes.
Ms. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Motion carries. And listen, everybody's welcome to come to this employee appreciation dinner. Mike, you bring your wife, and Raymond, you can bring already. Alice, you guys come. Dalton,
Call
if you ain't working, you come, right?
call the board, Mayor Board, call the roll, please.
Mr. Archer?
Yes.
Mayor Stanfield?
Here.
Ms. Thompson?
Here.
Mr. Wilson? Here. Chairman Bowles?
Motion made. All right. Good night, everybody.